Hey guys, it is the PR5 announcement or release as of today. I apologize for my voice because I'm still recovering from my cold that I had earlier this week. So, but I still want to get a video out for the initial release because I see a lot of people talking about the ships already, saying they're not that great or whatever. So I'm gonna give my first initial impressions on what I see with these ships. Now, there's a couple things I'm missing about these ships in particular, like I can't see all their stats. But I can't see their skills. So I can just judge you by skills to see if they good or not. So this could be a first version 1.0 whatever uh impressions on the PR5 ships that are released for this banner. All right. So I'll start off with Plymouth. So Plymouth here, their first skill, Rejoice and Radiance. This let me scroll all the way up. When the battle starts, it increases the ship's firepower accuracy by 12% if stored with another Royal Navy ship, or if this ship has Royal Navy gear equipped. This ship's evasion becomes 15%. So self buff, that's kind of cool. Light cruiser DPS is kind of whatever. I've never been a big fan of light cruiser DPS when it comes to like the major content. Like, yeah, that's pretty good for like wave clear and whatnot, but what isn't good for wave clearing nowadays in 2022 Azure lane, right? So this skill right here is whatever. The evasion is nice, helps with survivability, which is gonna help out for the second part of the kit maybe, because I heard interesting things about that one. But 50% evasion is also really nice to have for survivability. Now, Pathfinder's Shroud. Damage is based on skills level and becomes shrouded for 5 seconds. While shrouded, the ship takes 10% less damage. Upon becoming shrouded for the third time, she also restores 10% of her max HP. Enemies hit by the barrage becomes exposed for 10 seconds. Exposed enemies take 18% more damage from her flagship if she is a BBB's BC or BBV. So I saw the barrage. It's kind of wide, so there won't be issues hitting that, I don't think. My issue is consistency because the uptime on Pathfinder's Shroud. Now the survivability is nice, right? You have the HP regen, you have a little bit more damage reduction. That's nice. The issue is I want to see how often this is gonna work, because if it has a really terrible uptime, then this skill right here, the second part of the skill, is not that great. 18% increased damage is nice, but it's only for your flagship. So if your flagship is a heavy hitter, probably gonna be like New Jersey or something, or someone that does decent damage, then this is actually not that bad. The issue is I don't know what the uptime is. Like, we have to see if it's okay. If it's like a 50% uptime, that's kind of whatever. If it's 100% uptime, that's actually really pretty good. If it's like, yeah, if it has like really bad timings, then this skill is like absolutely awful. So have to see how this plays out. Otherwise, 18% isn't like awful. I know it's not like Helena tier. Obviously, it's gotten to the point now where no one's ever gonna replace Helena ever. I think it's safe to assume that heading towards the end of the game's life, she's probably gonna be OP since from day one all the way to the end. So Helena's not going anywhere. But if you do, if Plymouth is really good on the uptime for that second part, it's actually not that bad to have her in as like a third maybe. The issue is that she's taken away from like a really good DPSer like KimoCheese or Drake, and I doubt Plymouth herself has enough damage to keep up with KimoCheese or Drake, or Rune Moose even. Well, maybe Rune Moose. So it comes down to how reliant this blue skill is when it comes to this 18% damage increase for a flagship. Because if you give it to New Jersey, 18% for New Jersey is probably gonna be close to like 100,000 points in meta fights. Yeah, that's actually really good. So I have to see on how that plays out. If it's a really good upside, then that's great. Otherwise, it's gonna be like kind of whatever. I think it says like for 10 seconds. Actually, it's not that bad, but again, it has to see how long she can keep reapplying the debuff for your flagship. So as of right now, Siren Killer level 1, Allow Assault level 1. I can see why she's gonna get a lot of hate. I did say on one of my videos that if she isn't Helena tier, she's probably gonna be really forgettable. And then depending on how consistent that blue skill is, it's gonna determine how um how what's the word I'm looking for here? How relevant she's gonna stay in the coming days, because if this skill is actually really good and consistency, she could stay up there. She won't be like god tier, but she could definitely stay up there. If it isn't, if it's really inconsistent, it's really bad to work with, then no, she's just gonna be like one of the other light cruisers, like a little bit more survivability, has some pretty nice barrages, but for the most part, just another light cruiser. So there is that. Now Prinz Rupprecht, I'm not gonna bother with that, especially because I'm sick. Battle cruiser here. Let's talk about her kit. Lindworm, Devouring Fang, level 10. During battle, this ship gains a level 10 secondary gun. Every 5 times she fires a secondary gun, launches a level 10 special torpedo barrage. Barrage damage is based on the skill's level. The 8th time she fires this secondary gun increases the ship's firepower and torpedo by 15%. So the 8th time she fires a secondary gun. I think that's really dependent on if enemies hit your backline, right? So I guess that could be, I could see her being pretty okay for World 14. Not like the best, but like pretty decent there. Obviously, she's gonna be really good in the farming for 1-1 setups, because when you're doing 1-1 setups, you don't have that much wave clear, so there's a lot more targets hitting your backline. And when you have more targets hitting your backline, your secondary guns go off more, meaning you can proc this skill much faster. So just another 1-1 ship. Maybe we'll go for World 14. And I think that's pretty much it. Maybe OS too, but whatever. Blue skill here. Lindworm Protector's Oculus. Oh, it starts me off down here. When the battle starts, if this ship is your flagship, decreases the ship's damage taken by 15%. If not your flagship, decreases damage taken by the ship above your flagship by 8%. When the ship fires her main guns, 80% chance to fire a special barrage. So again, 80%. I think they're gonna make it so like SSRs rarely have 100% proc rate, which sucks, but there's a reason. I guess there's a reason why. I'm not sure. 80% barrage. I just don't like it. 80%. It's high. It's way better than the 70% we had like since day one, but it's not 100%. That means it's inconsistent. I'm not a big fan of it. So damage taken, that's nice, I guess. Durability overall, is just one of these like we have so many ships nowadays that has like damage reduction, which is great and all, but for the most part, unless you're like severely under geared or whatever, it doesn't really matter that much. Because here's the thing, damage reduction is nice and all, don't get me wrong, it is nice. But when you take damage, it just slows down the inevitable, because it's really hard to get HP up unless you're using like Unicorn or Perseus that can heal while you're taking damage reduction. Because it doesn't matter if it takes you like 10 hits to sink versus like maybe 15 hits to sink. You're gonna sink eventually, and that's actually not that much hits that you take even with damage reduction. That's why Unicorn and Perseus are so good, because they can immediately just heal off all that damage taken, so you can take that one or two extra hits. So heals are a lot better than just raw damage reduction. That's how I see it. So battle cruiser, I don't think it's like that spectacular. Barrage may be nice, but I'm not sure what it looks like. It's okay. It's a battle cruiser. Whatever. It's all right. All right, Harbin, the first I think it's Chinese, right? Chinese at Dragon Emperor PR ship. Interesting. Let's see how she looks. Impactful torpedoes increase the damage this ship's the damage the ship's equipped torpedoes deals against heavy armor enemies by 20%. That's actually a lot. 3 seconds after the ship fires her torpedoes, 100% chance to launch an additional torpedo barrage. Nice. So a stat on torpedoes. I actually like this skill. This actually is really good. I mean, I have to look more into it, but that's actually not that bad. Now, obviously, it's not the IJN setup, because you get so much buffs with IJN, but that's actually really good. I like this skill a lot. increased damage for heavy armor by 20%, which torpedoes are really good against, and 100% chance to launch additional torpedo barrage. Not bad, not bad. Blazing battle dance. Every 20 seconds, 100% chance to launch a special barrage damage based on a skills level. When the ship takes 20% or it takes damage, 20% chance to fire 20% chance to increase the ship's firepower anti-air by 4% and torpedo by 5% can be stacked up to 3 times. So every 20 well, here's the thing. This is what I don't like. So we were fine for the 100%, right? And then out of nowhere, 20% chance to increase the ship's firepower anti-air by 5% can be stacked up 3 times. So let's talk about averages, right? So it's a 100% chance every 20 seconds. While that's happening, there's a 20% chance of this happening. So this has to proc 5 times on average to get at least one of these to work. It can stack up to 3 times. My bad. So on average, you're looking at doing about a 300-second fight to get this to get this stacked up 3 times. That's 5 minutes. In what God's name are you gonna be in a story that's gonna be longer than like 2 minutes? Almost none of them. So at the very max, you could probably get like 1 or 2 stacks, and that's pretty much it on average. There's no chance you're gonna stack this up 3 times. So what's the point of putting 20% chance to increase this and it stacks up to 3 times if the percentage is so low to the point where you're not gonna have all this proc in one battle, realistically speaking? So no, I'm not a big fan of this part. This 20% is weird. The stacking part can be fine. It's just 20% chance is weird, and every 20 seconds. So it's like we go from 100% proc rate to like 20%. Like, what's the deal with that? I don't get it. So I'm not a big fan of this part. But everything else though about Harbin's kit is really nice. I like it. I don't think she's gonna be like a god tier torpedoer because we have so many good torpedo ships from the IJN faction. But if you want to play something else and use some other torpedo stuff, I can definitely see Harbin being like pretty decent because she has okay torpedo. She has her first kit built really good for dealing with heavy armor. So I can see her being pretty good. She's a light cruiser though, right? Yeah, so it's like whatever. But again, for the most part, that kit's nice. I'm just not a big fan of this 20% when like 20% chance to proc 3 times every 20 seconds. Like, no, I don't like that. Now we have the Russian ship. Now I don't want to try to pronounce it. I'm sorry. I'll just call her Czech. I'll call her Czech. Now, Czech here. The first Russian PR ship, I think, right? Yeah, first Russian PR ship. So let us see how she turns out. Aviation experiment, coordinate bombardment. When the battle starts, increases the ship's aviation reload by 15%. When the ship launches an airstrike, launches an additional level 10 special airstrike. Damage is based on the skills level. 80% chance on launch to 80% chance on launch to improve the ship's special airstrike. So 50% increase, good, very very good. Additional airstrike, which is nice, more damage. I like that a lot. Contingency experiment, suppressive fire. Alright, increases ship's damage dealt against medium and heavy armor enemies by 10%. Very, very good. When this ship's airstrike finishes loading, fires a $3 barrage. A $3 special barrage. What? Is that right? Alright, apparently it costs money to do special barrages. I'll take your special today, the $3 barrage. Yeah, I'm gonna order that at a restaurant for sure. Fires a $3 special barrage that decreases the anti-air of the enemies hit by 10%. Barrage is based on skills level. Anti-air debuff cannot be stacked. Oh, it lowers anti-air, huh? That's actually really nice. Anti-air also makes this so you have more air resistance from damage. So if you lower anti-air, it basically makes it so you take more damage from planes. That's actually really good. I like this skill. So far, first 2 skills from Czech is actually not that bad. Really good at dealing with heavy and medium armor. So that's actually not that bad. It's kind of like she works kind of like August von Parzival, in the sense that August Parsival is really good with dealing with medium and light armor. Czech is really good with dealing with heavy armor and medium armor. Now, what's their plane loadout? If I can see it somewhere, that'd be really nice, but I don't think I can. If she has like a regular loadout with fighter, dive bomber, and torpedo, it's actually not that bad because you can do just the AP rockets and then use a junkers or something. So it could be pretty decent, I'd say. Not a bad ship. Not a bad ship. Probably the best one from this banner, honestly. From what I see at the start, probably the best one in terms of like usefulness for sure. So not a bad ship. Not a bad ship. And lastly, Brest, the yes, that's her name. The last DR ship from this banner, large cruiser. Let's check out her stats. Ensemble of exaltation increases ship's firepower and accuracy by 10%. When the battle starts, if there are 3 ships in your vanguard, increase this ship's evasion by 15% and decrease her damage taken by 12%. If she's heavy armor, that's actually a really good skill. If she's medium armor, that's going to suck because that's why E-Girl is really tanky, because she has heavy armor as her default armor. So I'm going to assume she's medium armor. I'm not exactly sure. But let's say she's a medium armor. She definitely needs the evasion. So the skill right here, not bad. It's really good. Area of alacrity. When the battle starts, increase the ship's speed by 3. Not bad. And evasion by 10%. Nice. Some more evasion on top of whatever she has. Very nice. If this ship has an Iris Liberty gear equipped, increase this ship's main gun or main crit damage and anti-air or by 15%. Again, we don't have any crit rate. Why do we have crit damage? I don't get it. Worry about crit rate first before worrying about crit damage, developers. Come on, man. Get it together. And Panacea, Payan. I'm just going to say Payan, whatever. Once every 8 times this ship fires her main guns, fires a level 10 special barrage. If this ship's main gun is a large caliber, decreases the number of shots required to 4 and change the properties of this barrage. The first time this barrage fires, every battle restores 8% max HP to the ship with the lowest percentage HP left in your fleet. The second time this barrage fires, restores 6% of this ship's max HP. So I could definitely see this being really good for like OS people. If you're still struggling with OS like Operation Sirens, or even World 14, if you need a really good tank, this is a really, really good ship. Because if you're an inexperienced Operation Sirens player, survivability is probably one of the biggest things you're having trouble with. Brest is really, really good for that. Now, albeit she is a DR ship, it's going to take a while to get her maxed out to level developer 30 and all that jazz. But if you can get her done, get her to developer 30, she is definitely a good ship to have with you for like pretty much any end game PvEing, except bossing. Bossing, I would definitely give it to E-Girl way more. But for when it comes to like Operation Sirens, you would do like stronghold searches or like corruption level 6s, World 14, straight tank. Brest is really, really good here. So she is definitely really good for just like end game scavenging, exploration, what you want to call it. When it comes to bossing, the E-Girl is the better choice here, but Brest is definitely really good when it comes to just keeping ships alive while being that frontline tank that large cruisers are really known for. So that is my initial impressions on this banner as of right now. Can't say I'm surprised, honestly. I wasn't expecting this banner to be like the best banner ever. I think the big takeaway here is going to be the Russian ship Czech. She's going to be a different variation of AVP this time around, and AVP was really good in the prior banner on light and medium siren bosses like Arbiter Temperance and Arbiter Strength, because they're medium and light armor. So Czech this time around is going to be really good for strength, and it's going to be really good for Hermit. So she's a really good variation there. Plymouth, if this blue skill can be worked very, very well and not a pain in the ass to use, I could definitely see her being a pretty okay ship. The battle cruiser Prince is just gonna be another 1-1 ship. I don't think she's gonna be like that amazing. Just think of her as like another SSR, uh, SSR ship you get from an event. Good for 1-1. Good for cheap, if that even exists anymore. Cheap farming. Probably gonna be good in OS too for dealing with like multiple enemies that are coming at you for whatever reason. Harbin, I like her first two skills. I'm not a big fan of 20%. I don't think she's going to replace IJ and torpedoes, but if you want to do some torpedo stuff with other ships, then Harbin probably be a good choice there. Check, obviously my favorite from this one in terms of her kit. And Brest is going to be another one of those end game. Keep ships alive, keep her nice and tanky. She has a lot of evasion, good heals for other ships and herself. So this banner, while it may not be like overwhelmingly powerful and like convincing like PR4, it is a banner that's like, it could definitely be better, but it's by no means like the absolute worst. It's not like the worst thing ever. Huh. That's gonna be like PR1 or something. Oh, not PR1, probably PR2. I think PR2 is kind of whatever. Yeah, PR2. So it's not the worst. It's not the best. It's like right in the middle to me. So that's my initial impressions on PR5 banner. Let me know what you guys think. And hopefully I can get rid of this code so I can make more videos for you guys. So good luck running out there. And as always, I'll see you on the next video.